Hello, welcome back to the Life Reset Collective. My name is Josh. If you are feeling stuck in life due to needing to reset your life and you feel like you're having trouble moving forward, this video is for you. If you're feeling stuck, it's probably not because you're lazy, broken, or unmotivated, but because your system is overwhelmed. You've been through something that drained you. Maybe it was a breakup, a burnout, a loss, or just a slow buildup of stress that never let up. Now you're trying to restart, but nothing is clicking. You can't focus, your energy is shot, and even the smallest tasks feel heavy. You keep thinking, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just get it together? Here's the truth. There is nothing wrong with you. You're likely still in survival mode. And no real reset can happen from there. Okay? This video is here to help you land before the vision boards, before you go trying to accomplish big goals, before you start setting new routines. You need something more essential. Safety, stillness, a stable ground beneath your feet. This is where you begin again, not by pushing, but by pausing. Here at the Life Reset Collective, we offer practical guidance rooted in emotional wisdom to support you in rebuilding after loss, burnout, heartbreak, or simply feeling stuck. Each video follows the Life Reset Framework, which is a 9-step path designed to help you pause, stabilize, and reclaim your life after a reset. Whether you're starting over or simply tired of pretending like you're okay, this is a space to land, free from shame, full of possibility. My name is Josh. I started this channel because I've been through 2 major life resets, basically starting completely over from scratch. My life resets were due to divorce. Yours might be due to any number of reasons, but we all face sort of the same problems. And when you feel stuck, it can often feel like there's no way to move forward. There's no way to reclaim your sense of hope, your sense of happiness, your sense of forward momentum. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. How to reset your life when you feel stuck, how to get going again, how to start building momentum. What can you do? Well, I'm going to share 9 steps with you. So let's start with step number 1. Stabilize your space and body. Before you can rebuild anything, you need to feel safe enough to pause. This is about exiting crisis mode, regulating your nervous system, and getting your basic needs met. No growth happens in survival mode. This is where you land, secure food, shelter, rest, and quiet space. Remove or reduce immediate stressors and noise. Focus on sleep, hydration, warmth, and stillness. Let your body know the danger has passed. Step number 2 is reconnect with your body. Trauma and burnout often push us out of our own skin. This phase helps you come home to yourself gently through sensation, breath, movement, and grounding. You don't need to perform healing here. Just reconnect with yourself. Use your senses, touch, smell, sound to stay present. Try slow walks, stretching, or breath work. Nourish your body with food and care. Practice noticing what your body is asking for. These first 2 steps, stabilize your space and body and then reconnect with your body, these really speak to, like, you've probably been through a lot of crazy motion in your life. That's part of the reason you're probably in a life reset. You probably went through a lot of crazy activity, maybe intense loss, maybe a really hard, bad situation. Maybe you lost a job. Maybe you had a diagnosed illness. Maybe you went through divorce. Whatever it is, a lot of chaos. And when we're getting whipped around in that chaos, it's like emotional turbulence. But there's a part of the reset journey where we kind of have to slow down and we have to find some sense of calm in order to begin again, in order to begin rebuilding, climbing out of the hole we're in, right? The pit that we fell into that causes us to have to life reset. And so the first 2 steps are really about that. This leads us to the 3rd step, grieve and get clear. This is something that once we've achieved a sense of stillness, we go inside of ourselves and we start doing a little work in our emotions, in our psyche, right? On the inside. You've been through something very bad, probably. Maybe multiple things. This is the time to face it, name it, and let yourself feel it. But also to make clear distinctions. What did you choose? What happened to you? What needs to be honored and what can be released? Name your losses: people, time, identity, dreams. Distinguish what was your responsibility and what wasn't. Now, there's a part of this that's sort of about kind of learning from the past, but this is what I don't want you to do. I do not want you to blame yourself, feel and perpetuate guilt with yourself, right? For me, the shame and the guilt is one of the hardest parts of a life reset, because I'm always like blaming myself for what led to it. And there's an element of utility to that, but I want to let you know right now that on this channel, this channel is not about blaming you, saying you should have known better, shaming you for the things that have gone wrong. Friend, this channel is here to encourage you, to welcome you with open arms, friendly arms, not arms of judgment or shame. So just know that as we go through this, please. There's no shame here. I don't want you to shame yourself. I don't want you to feel shame. I want this to be a place you can rest from those intense negative feelings. Other steps you can take in this grieve and get clear step are journal or speak aloud your version of the story, right? Get clarity on it. Maybe you've been gaslit for a long time. Maybe you need to get through the truth in your mind and get clear on it so that your mind is no longer tied up in knots. Let tears, anger, and confusion move through you without shame. You're gonna experience a lot of intense emotions. Once you sort of land and start to find calm outside of that vortex that you were in, whatever it was that you were stuck in, maybe a bad relationship or a bad work environment, whatever it was, once you start to slow down, your emotions, they're gonna go wild a little bit, because you're gonna have to process. You might feel bouts of intense rage over some of the things that happened to you. You might have bouts of intense sadness. But friend, it's really important to know, and I'm speaking about this from experience, that once you start to slow down and you start to process, this is very natural. So don't get down on yourself about this. Don't think there's something wrong with you because you're feeling a lot of anger or a lot of sadness or a lot of intense emotions during this period, because that's not only is it therapeutic, it's to be expected, okay? And so let yourself feel those things without judgment. And again, I'll get down on myself for feeling intense emotions. I'll be like, what's wrong with you? But that's not helpful. We want to let ourselves go through that process. It's a bit of a healing and a therapeutic process. And this leads us to number 4. This is more inner work, right? So we've got steps to slow down, and then we're beginning some inner work, right? Forgive and begin again. Now that the past has been witnessed, you can start loosening its grip. This isn't forced positivity. It's the choice to stop punishing yourself, to see your past with compassion, and to choose a new relationship with your story. Offer forgiveness to yourself first. Recognize you did the best you could with what you knew. Let go of blame loops that keep you stuck. And then choose grace over expected perfection, friend. It's time to forgive. It's time to begin that process of trying to forgive yourself. You start with yourself. If you think you made mistakes, if you feel stupid or you feel ashamed or you feel guilty about things that happened in your past, this is the step where you try every day to work on self-forgiveness. And that's a hard thing to do. I wish I had a magic elixir to give you that would solve that, but the truth is, I think the best thing I have discovered is that it's just a process every day we do it. Every day we feel those negative emotions, and every day we have to forgive ourselves again, and it becomes a habit, and eventually you work through it. That's been my experience, and drop me a comment. Let me know if you have discovered any other ways that might help other people. But then we move on and we forgive other people. If you had a failed relationship, you might be angry about that other person. Maybe you need to go through some time forgiving them, and that might take a long time. It might take you years to forgive another person for how they've hurt you, problems they caused you, the sadness they caused you, whatever it is. You might be angry at a boss over a job you lost. You might be angry about family who screwed you over in a living situation, whatever it is. But it's also important to remember we don't forgive other people as a gift to them. We forgive other people to bring ourselves peace. And that's what I want for you. I want you to have peace because you deserve peace. And this is going to lead us to step number 5. Now, these first 4 steps have really been about slowing down and, escaping the vortex of chaos. And then we have 2 steps of inner work. Now we're beginning to take physical actions in this step. Step number 5 is take charge of your resources. This step is about reclaiming agency. You assess your time, money, energy, and obligations with fresh clarity. No shame, just practical wisdom. You begin to build small, sustainable systems that help you feel in control again, and that will help prepare you for the journey ahead where you will reset your life, reclaim your power, and basically reinvent yourself and your destiny so that you can have an amazing life on the other side of this tragedy. So here's some steps you might take in this step. Review your finances, income and expenses. Get clear on your time and energy and how you spend them. Start simple routines for tracking and planning your resources. And then reduce or eliminate what drains you unnecessarily. So stay away from like energy vampires, right? People who drain your energy. Try to avoid activities that drain your finances needlessly. Like we don't want to be, if we're in a life reset, one of the biggest challenges in resetting is actually being able to afford what we need. You might need a new place to live. You might need to get a new car, right? There's many things in my life resets. Money was always kind of a challenge because a lot of times what we do in a failed relationship, we might walk away and there might be very intense short-term financial challenges, like maybe you don't have a place to live literally, or maybe you literally don't have a car to drive or something like that. So taking charge of your resources gives you the power to start kind of planning out how you're going to navigate those challenges. And they are hard, but I'm going to tell you right now, you can do it. You can do it. This is part of getting unstuck in our lives, right? And this is going to lead into number 6. And this is more inner work, okay? As you're beginning to take charge of those resources. And I should also note that these steps are not necessarily in order, like linear order. So in other words, you might do step 1 first, but you could just as well start with step 5 and then do step 1. The important thing is to do all the steps and then to cycle through them. We keep repeating them until we reset our life successfully, right? But step number 6 is anchor into the sacred. Healing is more than fixing. It's remembering you're part of something larger. Whether through spirituality, ancestry, nature, or ancient wisdom, this step reconnects you to meaning, rhythm, tradition, and a source of strength beyond the self. You might want to revisit or explore your spiritual roots or practices. You might want to revisit your religious beliefs. You may want to start going back to church if that's important to you, or you may want to start praying again, or you may want to start meditating again, whatever your beliefs are. Connect with nature, ritual, or ancestral stories that empower you and make you feel connected to your lineage and into your ancestry, that make you feel grounded in the world you're in right now. It gives your life meaning. Create a daily sacred pause, even if for just 5 minutes. Let silence, symbols, or stories hold and guide you, right? Whatever that looks like for you. I recite some Catholic prayers. I'm not Catholic. I do have a past in religious and Christian religion, but there's something very calming and there's something very powerful about reciting Catholic prayers, and I love to do it. And that's one way that I anchor into the sacred. And I also love to read about the origins of humankind and older religions. Like, it doesn't really matter whether or not I think they're literally the one true religion or something. For me, it's more about the sacredness of the practices and the traditions. So I love looking into different types of religions and reading their prayers and sometimes reciting their prayers. And to me, this helps me, right? And that's what this is about, helping you to anchor into the sacred, finding some quiet, some peace, some sacredness in your life that gives your life meaning. And then we're going to move to step 7. And this is a forward-thinking step. This is one of the most important steps, and it's one of my favorite steps. And I also think it's the one that most people overlook the most, and that is reimagine what's possible. With your feet on the ground and your past seen clearly, now you get to ask, what does a life of truth, purpose, meaning look like for me now? You begin dreaming forward, setting aligned goals that are both inspired and realistic. Define what thriving for you now means. Set values-based, flexible goals for yourself. Draft a simple plan with steps and checkpoints. Very simple. We don't have to go crazy with this. This is about deciding what you want your life to be like at the end of this hell that you've been in. Leave room for growth and revision. Keep coming back to the plans. I have such a plan laid out that gives me so much hope. When I think about my plans for the future, they inspire me. And I think to myself, oh, I cannot wait to get there. And it motivates me every day to do all the important things that need to happen before I can get there. But see, hope is a powerful thing for humans. And if we have hope, we can do anything. But if we don't have hope, we're going to struggle to even do the smallest things. So cultivating hope for yourself is what this step is all about. And this leads us to step number 8. This is another forward-moving inner work step, which is reclaim joy and aliveness. And friends, this is probably the most challenging one for me. Healing isn't only about fixing what's broken. It's about remembering what brings you to life. In this step, you intentionally invite pleasure, creativity, laughter, and play, especially in small, consistent ways. And I'm going to tell you right now, this YouTube channel is that for me. This is creativity for me. This is me trying to help other people. This is something that makes me happy. Sometimes it's hard for me to justify to myself spending the time on these things, but it's so important to set aside time for reclaiming joy and aliveness when you're going through a life reset, because you need to cultivate joy in your soul. If you don't, it's going to be just dark misery, pain, suffering the whole way. And that's going to make it so much harder for you to be successful. I want you to succeed laughing along the way, feeling fulfillment along the way, feeling, satisfied along the way with some small things, some small wins. It could be as simple as watching a show you love or watching your favorite movie. These things are so important, and they are going to be so powerful in helping you along on your journey. Some steps that might be in this area include reconnecting with music, art, nature, and play. Scheduling small moments of joy daily, right? Try to be intentional about it. Try to schedule things that you're going to enjoy, that are going to make you laugh, that are going to make you happy, that are going to make you forget about the problems for a little while. Express yourself creatively, even messily. That's okay. Let yourself feel alive again. That is so powerful. Just think about that. Let that resonate for just a moment. Let yourself feel alive again. Try to do that. And that's going to bring us to the final step, step number 9, which is possibly, I think, the most difficult step, but it's also the step that's going to actually get our lives set up and in motion to do what needs to be done, to get out of the pit we're in, and to begin again. Build forward with rhythm. Sustainable change is built on rhythm, not intensity. In this final step, you focus on consistency, connection, and adaptive movement forward. You walk, not alone, not in a rush, but with clarity, humility, and presence. Create simple systems for daily check-ins. Stay connected to supportive people or community. Revisit earlier steps as needed. It's all cyclical. And then share your journey when you're ready, because your story is medicine, and the world needs more medicine for people who have gone through hard times. Listen, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Going through a life reset is not easy. You're going to face a lot of challenges. But if you feel stuck today, I want to give you a little encouragement. You absolutely have the power to begin moving forward, getting unstuck, creating the life you really want to live. You have the power to do it. I know that you can do it. I believe in you. All that's left is to start putting these 9 steps into motion. When you start doing that, you're going to start seeing some really incredible results. You're going to start seeing some hope. You're going to start cultivating some joy. You're going to start to realize, you know what? I don't have to sit here stuck forever. I can have a better life. And you know what? You deserve that. So please go out and get it. Don't stay stuck. I'm Josh from the Life Reset Collective. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please hit that subscribe button and watch more videos in the future. Please go with peace. I will be rooting for you, my friends. See you on the next one.